Hello YouTubers, my name is Axe Factor and welcome back to some Tanker Tuesday. And as requested by you guys, the community, this is some hot LAV action with that guy, the Pea Shooter and the HE Shell. It takes me a little bit to get warmed up, but I'm going to talk about why I really like the LMG, aka Pea Shooter. Specifically on this map, as you start off as the attacker, there is 0 LAVs or armor against you. The next set of MCOMs, they get 1 LAV, you get 2. So I'm not really set up for anti-armor. So I really have to be careful about my positioning, my pushes, and of course, pulling back and getting out of dodge, hoping infantry can help me out. Then of course, paying attention to where the locks are coming from. This is where the LMG really helps you out. It is great for picking people out, head glitching, or just infantry in open space, no matter what their range. There is quite a bit of drop. There is a little bit of lead, but the cooldown is somewhat forgiving with this. And this is one thing I usually do when we get an MCOM set, and I notice the map is saturated with blueberries and greenberries, as I rotate over. That's what I was just doing by the back bus there, trying to pick off guys or pull up and pick off guys running across or position. The last thing I want to do is stay in the open too long and eat an RPG in the side. That could be 30 plus damage, maybe disabling me. And here's bad position. Did not see this guy until it was too late, so I have to give myself and my gunner an angle. Remember, when you're in armor, it's all about your surroundings. It's all about how many friendlies you have around you, how many enemies, and more importantly, that down angle. If I were to get critically disabled and that guy was not to get killed, I was more than likely going to eat another if my APS was not up. And here you're seeing the power of the LMG, aka Pea Shooter. If they're standing still, just give it a little bit of a tap fire, a little bit of a burst, and it's absolutely going to wreck them across the map. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but it gets the job done against the infantry. Here's something I always do, whether I'm infantry or I'm in the LAV. Pull up to the parking garage, because you can get all these guys in these cross angles set up, including the guy just taking a break on his belly because he simply ate too much at lunch, waiting for some teammates of mine to come running through the doors, and left that guy, more than likely 2 guys there with very low health, followed up with some 25 cannon, but did not get the kill. So here's where they pull an LAV. This is where I have to start being careful and having an out. What happens if I take a lot of damage? Because it's going to become one of those maps where I start getting hunted by a lot of infantry. So I'm simply going to back up and position so he's not going to be hitting me, trying to get the infantry as they get out. Remember, if you're on reload or low, switch off. Get the infantry. Help your infantry out, because if somebody's rushing their LAV or tank, make sure you kill the infantry. A little more LMG action as I'm pulling up. So what's your out when you play here? Believe it or not, it's the last set of MCOMs you just came from. It's the building. You can pull your vehicle into that building and be perfectly safe from any sort of javelin, straw, small, or RPG, because they simply cannot destroy it. So here I'm trying to take a peek on this backside corner. I'm actually not going to go the middle of the map as I see a lock. So now I got to be careful of that. I'm not going to go very much in the middle of the map. I never do, because it's death from all the angles. See a couple mines or slams get spotted as the infantry are helping me out. Remember, I've said this a million times. The armor's only as strong as the infantry around it. And now we're getting pushed. Whenever you see hopping and skipping bush Wookiees, it is time to hit the gas pedal. It is that simple. That was quite a bit. Now I'm getting locked from a jab behind from their uncap. I'm going to pull up to hopefully break the next lock and find a safe spot to repair. This is an angles game. It's all about map awareness and the angles in which the threats are coming from. And that right there took down a javelin user. That's why I really like the LMG on this map. A little bit of spam, a little bit of spray and pay, and not trying to stay extended. A lot of people would stay there for that kill. I talk about this a lot when I'm infantry peeking. Make your peek, whether you get that kill or not, disengage, because you don't know who or what or how many is looking at you. The longer you stay out, as I try to give them the kiff with my bumper and the roadkill, the longer you stay out, the more attention you're going to get, the more likely you're going to get domed. So just don't hang in there to finish that kill unless you know you can see all the way down the lane something like this, and you can really finish that kill. But at tight corners, I peek, get a couple shots off, and look at this. This is not a good situation. Even though there are a couple bolt actions looking at me, I really need to be careful here because my side is exposed, not to mention the guy that we saw in their uncap that's shooting at me now that we did see. Remember, people can spawn on this guy. Even if it was a sniper at first, they can still spawn on him. So I actually backed out of there. We repaired, and it took me a while, and we're coming back up this lane. We've got this set of MCOMs to approach. I've had a pretty good gunner so far. Got some spot reps from teammates, which is always nice. And there's that little Pea Shooter in action again, even though I rack up the assist. This is a nice little lane to push as long as their LAV is handled, their LAV is down. You can do the little back rage, but you have to be careful. I talk about splitting defenders all the time. Now, I'm putting defenders all the way around me, depending on what's going on. So here is a little pro tip. I'm not set up for anti-infantry. I need the extra damage from my RPG. That's something I'll do. I'll get in position with my LAV that's set up anti-infantry, and I do this quite a bit as I'm trying to get out of dodge. If I eat one more shot, I'm absolutely dead. Gotta break the lock, gotta break the lock, gotta break the lock, and we win. 3 white dots now gone, and we're actually gonna pull back all the way into my safety area I talked about earlier, into this building, because I'm still not all the way healed up. I got healed up, took some more damage, getting healed up again. So that's something I'll do quite a bit. I'll line up an ass shot on an unsuspecting LAV, nail them for 40+ damage, and then work on them having my full APS. So the mob squad will survive. There's a lot of people headhunting, a lot of javelins, a lot of locks, a lot of damage coming our way. But the more of the story is, this is Rush. It's all about those defenders actually defending the MCOM. If 15 or 10 of those guys, or even 8 of those guys, are distracted chasing after me, and I'm just trying to survive on the outskirt of the map, it actually helps our team as attackers. I may not be able to get close. I may not be able to put my LAV on the MCOMs or get close enough, but I've distracted enough players. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Tanker Tuesday and a flawless ride. As always, what kind of requests do you guys have for next week's Tanker Tuesday? As always, YouTubers, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. We will see you soon.